What's up, evolutionaries? It's your boy Kali, and I'm back again with another video. If this is your first time tuning into my YouTube channel, welcome to the evolution. And if you are a returning viewer, as always, thank you so much for being here. Your time here is truly appreciated. It means a lot to me. As usual, many thanks. I cannot believe it's been a week already since I released my last video. This weekly transition that I've been doing, it's a lot, but nonetheless the work must be done, and I'm here again today to provide you guys with another important topic that's under the 17 Sustainable Development Goals series that I have been doing. So with no further ado, let's get right into that. So this is chapter 16, goal number 4 of the Sustainable Development series, quality education. That's today's topic, that's today's goal. As usual with the other videos, and there's no difference with this one, the video will be split into 3 parts. The first part will give an overview of quality education. The second part will give the 3 main targets that the United Nations have for the accomplishment of quality education, and the third and final section will focus on progress and information. As mentioned in all of the other videos, starting from the introduction of these 17 Sustainable Development Goals, I'm not able to provide all the information needed, and so the link will be left in the bio. For the direct link to all this information will be left in the bio so that you guys can have all the information that you need. So let's get started. What does quality education refer to? Quality education refers to learners who are healthy, well-nourished, and ready to participate and learn, and supported in learning by their families and communities. This also refers to outcomes that encompass knowledge, skills, and attitudes, and are linked to national goals for education and positive participation in society. Basically, what that's saying is, once a person has the ability to learn and they have the necessary skills, attitude, knowledge to do this, they're well, healthy, and nourished, then this is deemed as quality or having quality education. As mentioned in all the other 3 goals, they have what we call a tagline that I've invented. Well, I didn't invent them, but I've classified them as a tagline, and this one is no different. Goal number 4, quality education, and the tagline reads, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. That's the tagline. The 3 important facts to note about quality education are: number 1, COVID-19 has wiped out 20 years of education gains. As mentioned in the other 3 videos before this, COVID-19 has been at least 2 out of 3 of the important facts that has affected the overall accomplishment of quality not quality education, but of each goal respectively. The second important fact to note, an additional 101 million children in grades 1 through 8 fell below minimum reading proficiency levels in 2020. Remember, we're focusing on quality education, so majority of the information that will be given in this video will be focused on education. The third and final important fact says that participation in organized pre-primary learning increased from 65% in 2019 to 73% in 2020. So we see where out of the 3 important facts, the third and final important fact is actually the only positive one that we have here. And again, we have other important facts that are listed on the page. However, for the interest of time, I'm only gonna be listing the top 3. So out of the top 3, only the third one is something positive. And that concludes the overview of today's topic, quality education. Let's move on to the second section, the 3 main targets that the United Nations has implemented to achieve quality education. Let's get right to it. Now on to the second section of today's video, the three main targets that the United Nations has implemented in achieving quality education. The first target, target 4.1, by 2030, ensure that all girls and boys complete free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education learning, leading to relevant and effective learning outcomes. What that's basically saying is, by 2030, as always, Vision 2030, most of these targets are aimed, well, not most, all of these targets are aimed for 2030, because that's the Vision 2030. So to summarize what that basically is saying, by 2030, it is the aim of the UN to ensure that all girls and boys, all children, get free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education without having to pay anything at all, as long as it leads to relevant and effective learning outcomes. So that's a great target. Target 4.2 says that by 2030 again, ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality early childhood development, care, and pre-primary education so that they are ready for primary education. Ever so often we see that the balance is distorted when it starts off from early childhood development to pre-primary education, and so they want to fix all of that by ensuring that they focus and they zero in on early childhood development and pre-primary education so that it will benefit them in the future, because majority of the kids we see nowadays that are lacking some way or another knowledge wise or knowledge based, it started from not having the quality childhood development they needed and also pre-primary education. So zeroing in on that is another awesome target. The third and final target, target 4.3, says that by 2030, ensure equal access for all women and men. So we're not just focusing on children, but we're also focusing on women and men to affordable and quality technical, vocational, and tertiary education, including university. So we can't forget the adults. Not only children need quality education, but every step of our life that we go, we need quality education. And that sums up today's second section, the three main targets that the United Nations has implemented in the achievement of quality education. Now let's move on to the third and final section, progress and information. Now let's move on to the third and final section of today's video, progress and information. As always, I took some notes here on my phone, and I'm not able to read everything that I took, but I will try to ensure to stick to the most important ones. And again, the link will be left below down in the description to click on to view the full information that was mentioned here. So let's get to it. Progress and information. The impact of COVID-19 pandemic on schooling is a generational catastrophe. Before the pandemic, progress was already slow and insufficient to achieve the education targets in the goals. School closures caused by the pandemic have had devastating consequences for children's learning and well-being. It is estimated that 101 million additional children and young people from grades 1 to 8, as I mentioned in the important facts, have fell below the minimum reading proficiency level in 2020 owing to the consequences of the pandemic. Just before the pandemic, 53% of young people were completing secondary school globally, although the figure for sub-Saharan Africa was only 29%. Data from before the pandemic for 76, mostly low, and middle-income countries and territories covering the period 2012 to 2020 indicate that 7 in 10 children who are 3 and 4 years of age are on track developmentally, with no significant differences between the sexes. The rate of participation in organized learning 1 year before the official age of entry into primary education rose steadily in the years before the pandemic from 65% in 2010 to 73% in 2019, but with variation among countries and territories ranging from 12% to nearly 100%. Disparities in access to education and learning outcomes persist across a range of education indicators. For example, there were still only 92 literate women and girls 15 years of age or older for every 100 literate boys and men of the same age range in 2019. According to data from the period from 2017 to 2019, more than 1/5 of primary schools worldwide do not have access to basic drinking water, and more than 1/3 lack basic hand washing facilities, as mentioned in the meaning or what the words quality education refer to, being healthy and having great well-being. That is also taken in consideration when referring to quality education. So as it says that there is no basic drinking water and also to hand washing facilities, if that's not put in place, that is not upholding quality education. And finally, in 2019, 81% of primary school teachers were trained, although that proportion was lower in sub-Saharan Africa, 65%, and Southern Asia, 74%. With the unprecedented lockdown as a result of the pandemic, leading to total or partial school closures in most countries and territories, the teaching workforce was severely affected. And that completes today's third and final section, progress and information. I hope you guys learned a lot. I know it sounds like a lot of information, but I'm just here to give you the surface level knowledge that you need and to also go into details with what I believe is necessary. But as I mentioned, the link will be left in the video for, I think I'm saying this for the third or fourth time for this video. The link will be left below so you guys can go and check it out to view all the information that you need. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for being here. It was my pleasure, as always, to sit here to educate you on the issues that are going on in today's world, especially things that affect us as human beings. Definitely, I'm all open to provide you with this information. Don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to share to your friends and family members, and also don't forget to leave a comment. Anything you want to comment. It could be a suggestion that you want to make on a topic, or it could be a thought about today's topic. It doesn't matter. Comment something once it is respectful and it is not derogative. I'm open to all comments. And finally, don't forget to subscribe. Remember, as always, one more subscriber equals one more supporter against all the human rights infringements. And as of 5 videos ago, I believe so, also the achievement of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you guys for being here once more. Kali is signing out. I will see you guys next week. I love you guys. Bye.